This is boa noite, Jademe Joina. So I know from experience that that is my Brazilian friend, uh, and he's saying that he said good evening, yeah, good night, good evening, and he gave us thumbs up. So obrigado to my man in Brazil, Jimmy. He said, "What's up? What's up with you, man? How you doing?" Uh, Quentin said early AF. Hey yo, what's up, Quentin? How you doing this evening? Goodness, I like it when folks are on time. I really do. Let's get it to YouTube and let me make sure that the stream is actually working. What? I'm sorry. Just gotta. Accepting some terms and conditions to make sure my YouTube channel stays monetized. Yeah, turn that on too. Earn from ads and short video premium short feed. Oh boy, oh boy. You can tell I haven't logged on to my excuse me dashboard today. Oh, they've changed stuff yet again. So, all right, let's get to my content and the live streams and this live stream. And let's open it so I can actually make sure that everything's working okay. This live stream. All right. Perfect. Jimmy says it's all good. Kent, what's up? He says Dash. Chris Brand, good day. Oh man. I can't remember if you were an Aussie or a Kiwi, but I know you were down, I won't say down under, but down that way. So glad to see you here, man. Glad to see you can make it. Quint. Wait, no. I saw Quentin. I didn't see Quint yet. Josh, what's going on, man? We got the cooking cop in the house. Aussie dude. Okay. I've been, I don't want to say watching, but I saw some videos from the Summer Nats, and I was just like, dang, that looked like fun. That looked like a cool place to be. I'm a big car guy, so, you know, Summer Nats with a whole bunch of burnouts and racing and drifting and all types of other stuff right up my alley. Grumpus, how you doing this evening? Grumpus is dashing everybody. Whew. Goodness. So, tonight I'm going to be drinking something a little different. Shout out to Bumpy. Just, I know he's going to be watching this a little later if he doesn't pop in. He must have Randy. How you doing this evening? He must have a like an alarm to wake him up so he can say hey, and then he goes back to sleep because he's got to get up in the middle of the night to go to work. And then I start getting messages from him at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning as he's rewatching and commenting on the video, commenting on the live stream as he's rewatching. So I think it's kind of funny. Josh says the cooking cop hasn't been doing very much cooking lately. Just been all Vegas videos lately. Yeah, I've seen a couple of you Last one, or last one I saw was, I guess you guys did New Year's Eve in Vegas. So yeah. Jeremy, he says, "How's the new year treating everyone? Been busy out this way. That's what's up." So I started saying I'm gonna be drinking something a little different. I went out with a couple of my coworkers from the range the other day, and I bought some soju. So if you don't know what soju is, it is, from what I understand, and this is a flavored soju. So this is kind of like, so soju is like the hard liquor. This is like a cooler almost, but this cooler is 12% alcohol. So this one is a strawberry flavor. The liquor store where I went and got these had a couple different flavors, and if I bought six of them, and I just was like, all right, I'm gonna try this one, this one, this one, this one. My one coworker was like, yo, if they have yogurt, get yogurt. So I had an apple, I had a grape, I had strawberry, some yogurt. So I am pouring this directly over ice, and I'm gonna sip this. 12% alcohol. It's basically like a heavy beer, but it's really sweet. At least this one is really sweet. Like I said, it's kind of like a mixed drink. Matt Wood, what up, Terry? How you doing? Mm, excuse me. Yep. We're number one. But you already know that, Josh. We're number one. We're number one. Jack, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you so early on the live stream, Jack. Betty, hopefully you are doing well. Happy New Year to you guys. I don't think I've seen you. Don't think I saw you in the live stream last week. I've been shopping for a new truck all day. All right. What are you looking at, Terry? If I remember correctly, you got a Hemi. Was it a yellow Hemi Ram truck? Jack says my Packers are out of the game. Oh, 054 254 by 4. The white Hemi. Okay. All right. No, I thought it was a Hemi. I'm like, I thought it was a Hemi. You don't have a. Yeah, your Hemi's probably not 4-wheel drive. If it's a Hemi, then I don't think it's 4-wheel drive. Russ, what's up? How you doing this evening? Hey, taste tester number 2. You can't hear me. It being a Hemi, yeah, that kind of, I won't say negates it from being a 4-wheel drive, but usually one and one don't go together. I'm sorry. You know, it's crazy. So I went out to go get energy drinks just before it was like 6:30, and when I got back in the house, my family was watching a movie, and they're like, "Oh," they told me what the name of the movie was, and I'm like, "All right." And I said, "I'm gonna go in the front room and try to lay down and go to sleep." Um, Quincy taking his Christmas tree down. Yeah, we did that over New Year's, before New Year's. Actually, I think my wife did it on the 29th or the 30th, but it was down before New Year's Day. Um, so they were watching the movie, and I said, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna lay down here and watch this movie with y'all." I've been, for whatever reason, I have not been sleeping very well the last couple of nights, and I was up last night until well after 1 o'clock, and had to get up this morning. Um, I got up this morning. Quentin, you might appreciate this. I got up this morning and did one of those focus group things. As an EV owner, I went and answered some questions about some EVs. Some They were all current EVs. There was a Kia, a, a Hyundai, a small Nissan, a bigger Nissan, and then a Chevy. But they were all EVs. I went down and first impressions, sitting in each one of them, getting in the back seat, opening up the tailgates, looking around, poking. I didn't get to didn't really get to turn any of them on, didn't get to drive any of them. It was just like first impressions from looking at them and things like that. Jeremy says his was down the next day. Terry says we got approved for it, so we go to Friday to look at it. Nice. Exactly. Congrats. Yeah. The new bolt, it surprised the heck out of me. It was nicer than I thought it was gonna be. Like first impressions, can you clean up this table, please? Um, First impression is just looking at them. I was like, I had that one almost on the bottom of my list, and after I got in it, I was like, I still almost had it at the bottom of my list. But yeah, whatever they call the Bolt EUV or something like that. Yeah, but it was much nicer once I got inside it. Let's put it that way. It was a little roomier than I thought it would be, or a little more roomier than I thought it would be. But it was cool. Jeremy says, anyone hear about the gas stove possible ban? What the hell is going on, man? They want to overload the grid that can barely keep up with the demand now. Yeah, EUV, that's what it's called. Seems small and not to my liking. I agree. Exactly. It is on the smaller side. So Jeremy, the whole thing isn't there about the gas stoves. There are a lot of like secondary problems with the gas stove, so it's not that there's a conspiracy, it's a health thing. Um, they're saying that the gas stoves, because of like the methane and the butane and other like uh, byproducts from the natural gas, can be problematic and cause problems, almost like secondhand smoking. So again, I don't really think it's a an all-out attack or some sort of conspiracy theory. KB, what's going on? Good looking hunky, says barbecue. North here, old film star retired. We used to barbecue outside the adult film building in the 80s. Awesome content though tonight, guys. Peter North, like seriously, Peter North? I mean, for real? So Randy asked what Santa Claus brought me. Oddly enough, I got a new watch. So now I have two black watches. For those of you guys who always comment on the videos when I have on both of my watches in the videos. And then I actually got a prep table. Hojo. You know what, Hojo? I saw a license plate today and it reminded me of you. It was it said either Hojo or Hobo. But I thought of you and Hobo Nickel. But I didn't get a chance to snap a picture of it. But like I said, it said either Hojo or Hobo. Thanks, Hojo. Appreciate it. All right. Well, I mean, if you don't know who Peter North is, you do some research, look him up. I remember watching a documentary on like I think it was Showtime. I think was it Peter North? Maybe it wasn't Peter North. Maybe I'm thinking of Seymour Butts. That's the guy's name I'm thinking of. But Either way, you know, everybody's got to eat. Quentin says, LOL, 2 watches. Yeah. So how much coal and oil and NG will be burnt to supply all our new electric stoves? I don't know, Grumpus, man. Hojo says, sometimes I wish I was a hobo. What up, Darnell? How you doing this evening? Darnell, I won't say the other day, but we talked a couple weeks ago, and you talked about the stock ticker FAT, and I was like, you know what? I don't even know how or why, but I remembered it like that following Friday, because I have a periodic investment going, and I said, oh, you know what? I'm gonna take $50 and put it in the FAT. Dude, I'm up like I looked at it a little while ago, but I'm up on the FAT. So I just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge and say thanks. Cheers. Cheers. Jimmy says, and they're saying new homes built will have electric stoves in them. It's telling you something. They are always going to say it's for your safety. Jeremy, maybe it actually is, dog. Like, everything does not have to be an us versus them. Seatbelts, man. Do you realize how controversial seatbelts were when they first came out? No one wanted to wear a seatbelt. But guess what? They are for your safety. I mean, uh, no conspiracy, just writing is on the wall. I mean, I'll see my comment about seatbelts. I mean, it really could be a problem. I mean, I saw just a teeny little news clip of someone talking about gas stoves, and I didn't do very much at all due diligence, but the information that was presented and the way they talked about um, what the problems were with the gas stoves, it made sense. And I mean, I won't say a big proponent, but I prefer a gas stove. I won't say always preferred a gas stove. Growing up, we had electric, and then when I moved out, my first apartment, nope, that my first apartment was electric, second apartment was gas, and we've never looked back since. I'm a bigger fan of gas. What up, Bumpy? I was just talking about you a couple minutes ago. I was saying about how he probably wakes up just to say what's up during the live stream live, and then goes back to bed and then gets up and start, he goes back to bed and gets up in the middle of the night, and how you start commenting on the video about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning as we're talking. So the Starving Pig says right on, Dash. Darnell, he says right on. I'll keep you posted on that one. Yeah, man, like I said, I was looking, and I couldn't remember what the entry point you said to get in was. But when I looked, and it was down. I am still holding barbecue. But I think I saw. Hold on. I know Traeger and Weber did something, or Weber did something, and Traeger is down crazy. Traeger's down like 60, 75% from when I bought it, which is nuts. So let's look at my positions real quick. So Weber fell off, and I swear they did they sell it out? Something happened. What did Weber do? Goodness. All right, so Weber, I thought Weber did some sort of like buyback or something, and but then they like fell off, and I swear I got the money for Weber, and then I see Weber's back in my portfolio again. I'm trying to find barbecue, or was it? No, that wasn't barbecue that did it. Let's see, fat. Let's see, Traeger. Maybe it was barbecue that sold off. Um, yeah, Rivian stock. I have some Rivian stock. Is down, 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 down. Um, let's see, Rivian. Oh, wait, no. I have Lucid. I don't think I bought Rivian. What happened with barbecue? My laptop and the scroll area, it just doesn't cooperate sometimes. So no, I think I was sold out of my position for with barbecue. Um, yes, I can't even see the ticker anymore. Famous, famous brands. Is that? Nope, that's a New Zealand company. So see, I think I was sold out of my position with barbecue. Jeremy says seatbelt isn't about safety, it's about insurance and the way to tax my ticket. If you don't know a seatbelt could save your life, then maybe we should just let nature run its course. So, Jeremy, the ticket thing, that's a whole different animal because that's the same way with speed cameras. I live in an area where speed cameras are like a thing, and those are a cash grab, a money grab for police departments. And it's one of those things where I agree with the seatbelt ticketing laws, and that you should, I don't say be forced, but you should wear a seatbelt. But the problem is, someone got the bright idea to say and pass the law to say if you're not wearing a seatbelt, we're going to give you a ticket. And people take it to a whole nother extreme because they can make money off of it. And as soon as you monetize something or incentivize someone to make money off of something, somebody's going to do it to an extreme. And that seems to be what happens with speeding tickets, with, you know, um, like vehicle registration. If I can't afford for my vehicle to be registered, and I get a ticket, and then I get a ticket and I have to pay more money for, like, it's just a never ending vicious cycle. And Weber just sold about 3 weeks ago, but it's back in my portfolio again. So I knew something happened. Barbecue was acquired by MTFFY, so the ticker symbol changed. What is MTFFY? MTFFY. Oh, come on. MTFFY. Oh. MT. MTFYY. MTFYY. MT. I'm not seeing that ticker symbol. MTF. Maybe you'll have to type that one out again. So share of Cisco today, just because I have some money sitting in my account. All right, Russ. I think I had Cisco. Nope. I guess I sold my position with Cisco. I did have some at one point. But I will add that back to a watch list. No, it is on my list already. I yeah, those one goes. Does me wearing a seatbelt save your life? It could. What if you got ejected from the vehicle? I mean, there's just lots of different scenarios. Lou says, "Hey yo, what's going on, Dash and the Barbecue fam?" Jeremy says, "And I wear a seatbelt." Look, I wear a seatbelt at times. I mean, I don't always, but I do at times. Seatbelt wearing is enforced. So when The homeless motorcycle riders run you off the road. You're protected. Yep. Down from 4 and change up to 8 now. MTYFF. MTYFF. Mighty Food Group. Look. Yeah, I don't have any positions in that. But we did talk about this. I swear we did talk about this. Yep, because I have it on the watch list. If we didn't talk about it, then I was looking at it for something else, and like it could have just been on one of those rabbit holes where they were like I was reading an article about different restaurants or different restaurant brands or what have you. So funny, Hojo. He said, when you making a run to the fridge for the magic juice in a mason jar? I don't have any. I'm out currently. I have a little bit of the aged whiskey. Um, but other than that, I'm drinking store bought for the next week or so probably. Um, Basically, my guy slowed down over Christmas, and or he gave away my portion to other people. So I don't have anything. I don't have a fresh supply, but I'm hoping to come up on some. Yeah, barbecue shares were dissolved probably. So check your notifications on your platform. So let me see transactions. Yeah, I don't see. Um, hmm. Hmm. Barbecue holdings. My barbecue holdings were. I guess I sold them in September of last year, or maybe I sold a portion. I don't know. I'd have to look back and see, but I don't see any recent um, transfers. Let's see, nope, no transfers, non-trades. Mm-mm. Nope. I don't know. I don't see. And probably just because I'm looking rather quickly. Um, yeah, I don't see barbecue within the last week or two. But nonetheless, what's everybody been cooking? Barbecue with Neil. What's going on? Neil says, "Good evening, everyone." Bobby says he's working overtime tonight. He's listening live. That's what's up. Delta Slim Pilot. He said, "Hey Dash, how's the catering going?" Good, good, good. I have a big event at the end of the month. This is that event where I cook for 500 people in in the past, but the number kind of fluctuates, but the biggest event I've done, I'd say to date, so far was this event, and I will be cooking for them again at the end of the month. So nice chunk of change just sitting waiting to be spent on supplies and such. Neil, Grumpus says Neil. Jeremy says I learned on the Weber and done some of my best cooks also. Yep, great design, but quality has dipped a bit over the years. You know, it's funny. A lot of folks who have Webers have, I won't say really old Webers, but old Webers that they've revitalized, refreshed and restored. And those are the ones that, of course, the older ones are the ones that were built better. And they last longer than the newer ones. So, yeah. Bumpy says so. Stocks is barbecue therapy. Look, man, you got to do something with all your barbecue money. You can't just only buy barbecue, Bumpy. And we were talking about barbecue stocks. So there's that. Great thickness and fire baskets, to name a few. Yes, indeed. It all comes down to cost savings. The cost of metal goes up, profits go down. They reduce the amount of metal into those products. Costs now go down. Profits go up. Hojo says, when does crab season start in Maryland? Flying up to Baltimore on 4/14 for a long weekend. I am not 100% sure, Hojo. Darnell says September was when the buyout was finalized. It's nice. Hey, if you have not already, hit that thumbs up button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And Russ gave us a reminder. Hojo said he smoked a 15-pound shoulder clod over New Year's. Smoking a port one this weekend. Nice. Grumpus said Neil's getting Grumpus is getting fired up with his whole pry my gas stove out of my cold dead fingers. Yep. Mac boy, what up, Drew? How you doing, Andrew? How's everything? He said made some solid banana pudding last week. Been watching too much British Bake Off. I don't know, man. I put my banana pudding up against your banana pudding any day. Neil said I'd do some hamburgers. I did some hamburgers on the weekend, and I did some stuffed sausages. Nice. So you know what I did last week? First time, I used my 21-inch Blackstone, and I made some steaks. And actually, I made more steaks today. The steaks I made last week turned out phenomenally. I made steaks. It was one of those things where my wife and I were here, and I'm like, oh, I got these steaks. We got steaks from Lidl, right? And I think we got 4 of them. It was like a limit of 4. So we got 4 steaks. And so I'm like, all right, well, I'll do something with them at some point this week. So it was like last Thursday, and she's like, or maybe last Wednesday. She's like, can we cook these steaks? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. I said, you know what? I'm gonna put them on a griddle. I'm gonna cook them on a griddle. And she made something inside. Oh, you know what it was? She had some jumbo shrimp, and she did some vegetables and the jumbo shrimp, and I cooked the steak because the shrimp, it wasn't going to be, it was only like a pound of shrimp, so I think we had 4 shrimp between the two of us, or 8 shrimp between the two of us. So I said, I'll make the steak too, and we'll have surf and turf. So that's what we ended up doing, and the steak turned out great for it to be cooked on a griddle. I was like, there's something to be said about that. And I cooked steaks again on the griddle. I did it the same way, but I cooked them too long tonight. I overcooked them, and I didn't. They tasted great, but they were overdone. I didn't take my thermometer out here. So Bumpy says you can get crabs all year long here in Baltimore, but I think he's trying to catch them himself. And Mommy says April is a good time for the start. Yeah, the only thing though is the water isn't warmed up yet. And I've been saying the seasons have shifted, so the water definitely is still cold. Mm. Jimmy said it's not just Weber. I'm second generation on my PK and plan to pass it on. Yep. Mm-hmm. To his nephew. Uh-huh. Yeah. Hojo says what kind of crabs you talking about? Bumpy. Bumpus. Yeah. Same sell price for customers with less equity, but same or more profit for the companies for research. Yeah. Bumpy says I got a whole brisket and 24 wings, a few pounds of chopped chicken, mac and cheese, and collard for this weekend. Nice. Uh, so I must have been behind on the comments. Delta Slim Pilot, he asked how the catering was going. Yep. Everyone should buy 1,000 shares of Mullen and hold on for the ride. Price target of 25 from 18 cents. MULN. Man, who has that kind of money? I don't. Man, I'm like $50 trades and under for the most part. MULN. Mullen Automotive. Is this the new truck company? And it's at 40 cents currently. Hmm. So Mullen, is this the guy that's trying to make electric trucks? Hmm. I don't know why, but I think I've heard of this company before. This sizzler cooked their steaks on the griddle. I don't know, Hojo. But when was it at? Oh, was it 18? Showing 20 cents. Let's see. Last month. 21. At the end of the month, it was at like 20 cents. It's up to 40 cents currently. Mm. Anyway. Da, da, da. Hojo says if crabs aren't in season, we'll have to hit Chap Saturday for lunch before heading to the Johns Hopkins Ohio State lacrosse game. Well, if you give me enough notice, maybe I can meet you for lunch. Nice, that's what's up, Darnell. Mm. Bumpy said, Hojo, what area are you staying? I could tell you where to get crabs if you want to sit down and eat or carry out. Yeah. Um, Depends on where, obviously where you're going to be. More of a crab cake. I won't say I'm over blue crabs, but I'd much rather Dungeness than blue crabs. I mean, you get 3 or 4 Dungeness, that's like eating 2 dozen blue crabs. But we do still eat blue crabs from time to time. I'll be like, all right, I'll go get, you know, a half bushel or X number of Dungeness. Little Tony Soprano, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. I don't think I've seen your name on a live stream chat before. How's it going? Crabs of Baltimore is like cheesesteak to Philly. No, like it is definitely same. Soprano says blue claws are great with red sauce or garlic. Indeed. Mine, my wife used to make a spaghetti with crab legs. Like you could go to, so this is one of those things a lot of people don't realize, but crabs are big in Philly too. Blue crabs especially are big in Philly too. So I won't say growing up, but there's a seafood spot not too far away from where my wife and I grew up, and you could go in there and buy like $1 bag of crab legs and claws. Can't very much anymore. I'm sure it's probably like a $10 bag as opposed to $1 bag. But the point I'm trying to make is my mother-in-law used to make a spaghetti with like a crab leg spaghetti, and my wife made it for me, like a crab leg soup slash spaghetti, um, years ago, but she hasn't done it in a while. Tony says it's going great. That's what's up. So you sure you asked a question before, but when you finally get monetized, how do they decide how much money to pay for commercials? So Neil asked the question. He says, "So I'm sure I heard somebody ask you this question before, but when they finally get, or when you finally get monetized, how do they decide how much money to pay for commercials?" I don't know. That's all done by YouTube. Only thing that I see is how much I'm gonna get paid. Um, I have no control over how much people are paying. It's just I get told how much I'm gonna get paid. Uh, Darnell said I gotta try steaming crabs with Gator Shake this summer. Yes, indeed you do. Definitely. Jep, 2 weeks ago about your Eagles hat. I thought you were from Philly. Now I know you're in Baltimore. I am from Philly, but I live in Baltimore. Okay, so I do remember, someone commenting on a video about the Eagles hat, and I probably said the same thing. I am from Philly, but I do live in Baltimore. Because I think you said, "Oh, I thought you were in Philly because of the Eagles hat," and I said, "No, I'm from Philly, but in Baltimore." Jeremy said, "Been learning the teppanyaki style of cooking on a flat top griddle along with sushi. Trying to expand my cooking styles. That's what's up." Downtown waterfront. May hit Annapolis and try Camwears on Rex. What could you slash try Falls Point? Yeah. Bumpy, you about to get cursed out and un what are you unmoderated Baltimore makes better cheesesteak. No, you probably didn't see me post that um on my Facebook. I saw somebody sent me an article, or I read an article talking about Baltimore makes better cheesesteaks, and I'm like, get all the way the F out of here. Jeremy said accept all the show stuff. Yeah, Hojo, that's what I'm saying. May have to take away his blue wrench. Yep. I shall giveth, I will taketh away. Darnell said Uncle L barbecue up there selling tomahawk steaks off his smoker on the side of the street. Yep. Uh, I heard about that dude probably a good year ago. Um, but like when I'm in Philly, and if I'm gonna get I don't say if I'm gonna get a tomahawk, but I really don't. I'm not trying to spend. I can make a decent tomahawk, so I'd rather spend $30 on a tomahawk than I would $130 or $150 on getting somebody else to cook it for me. With the exception, and I know Marcus was probably knocked out, sleep. I'd get Marcus to cook me one, just cause he give me a beer too. Gave me some great advice on helping me pick out a smoker like that Texas offset, but I went to the horizontal reverse offset Shirley Fab 30 with some thickness and insulation upgrades. Dude, so the only problem, and man, only thing I'll tell you about the Shirley fabrication smoker is I know someone that just waited 3+ years for this smoker. 3+ years. Russ said, "Where's the black lid?" This one. Oh, damn it! My head was cold earlier. Is that the one you're looking for, Russ? Yeah. Órale, ¿qué te pasó? Yo, I've been flexing my Duolingo. I've been working on it probably a good 15-20 minutes a day. I've been doing Duolingo. I have a streak going of I think 35 days. And I went from like lesson 9, I'm up to like lesson 14 or 15 in Duolingo right now. And I mean, I'm definitely learning some stuff. And, I feel like, what's hard though is all of the new words I'm learning and different sayings and other stuff like that. Some of it it's like I'm just being reminded of at this point, you know, like ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? It's always one of those jokes, right? Like when people talk about Spanish or learning Spanish, they're like, Hola, ¿dónde está la biblioteca? Right? But totally forgot that biblioteca is a library. I mean, it's just not something that you really, really talk about in everyday conversation. I mean, when was the last time you asked someone where a library was? Like, really? When was the last time you asked somebody where a library was? But I'm still having problems with the conjugations. Um, so, like, aprender, aprendes. When I'm asking someone if they want to learn something or if they need to aprende, leer, comer, beber. Having I don't say difficulty, but just the conjugations is just throwing me off. Jeremy says real cheesesteaks has the whiz. Not necessarily, Jeremy. Not necessarily. Quentin said first time I've seen or heard about the Mullen 5 looks good. Good battery size and good charge speed. Killer price too for the performance. Well, it's the steak plus 4 size. I mean, yeah. Said no to clear. Hog said, how about them Georgia Bulldogs? If you're into college football, yeah. I'm getting close to. I got 145. I'm slowly climbing up and get there eventually. Thank you for the information. Eventually, thank you for the information. Sure. So Eric said, "That's great. Always always a good thing to learn a different language. I would like to learn Russian." Tony says, "We dry age our own meats. I get my meats at the Hunts Point Market in the Bronx. Then I bring them back and dry age the whole short loin and whole rib, 28 to 40 days. Man, you got the patience of a saint." Greg, that dude TV says I'm currently taking a Spanish class. Nice. It's definitely challenging. Well, buena suerte contigo. Jeremy says, did Georgia play a team? Don't think anyone showed up to it. Yeah. That prank we did, my mom was epic. Yes, indeed. Yo, I was telling my wife about that the other day. So, Barrio Cookers, right? If you don't know, you need to check him out on Instagram. So, my man, it was him. So it was like 5 people that were in on this whole thing, and it was like, I don't know if it was him and his brothers and sisters, or like brothers, sisters, and like spouses. So they get together at Christmas, and like, well, my family, and when I say my family, was my wife's family more or less, but we used to do a Pollyanna, where the kids got gifts, and then the adults, we pick a name, do a random, it would be like my mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, her wife, my younger sister-in-law, my wife, and myself, right? So the seven of us would put, names in a hat, more or less. My sister-in-law, older sister-in-law, would um, will put together the names and say, everybody's gonna be in, and okay, and let's say I got my mother-in-law, right, and it was my job to get a gift for my mother-in-law, and then when we came together on Christmas, it was like, all right, hey, here's your gift. So they did something similar or El Barrio's family did. So they're like sitting around and they're like, okay, we're gonna open gifts, and the first person opens a gift, and they're like, oh, they pull it out, and she's like, oh man, look at this, like 10 or whatever it was, and his mother looks over and she's like, oh man, that's so funny, I've got one of those at home. And she's like, I've got one of those. And it's like, okay, cool, mom, cool. Oh, man. Like great minds think alike type thing. The second gift gets opened up. And it's something else, something random. And same thing. The mom is like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I've got one of those too. We've got great taste. They've got great taste, yada, yada. After the fourth thing, the mom is like, what is going on? I have that same exact thing at my house. How is it that you have that same thing I have? And then she finally realized that they went around and took like random things from her place, wrapped them up, and were playing a prank on the mom. Yo, it was hilarious. The mom in the end gets up, she's snatching her stuff from each of the kids, and she's like got her arms full like with her own things, and she's like, I'm gonna put this stuff away. Hilarious. Neil says, have yourself a great night, we'll catch up with you later. Wait, catch up with you later. Early to bed, early to rise. Hell yeah, except for me, I'm late to bed, early to rise. Greg the Dude says, first time catching you live. Love your content, bro. Well, thank you. The original was made with Wiz. I prefer provolone. I don't know if that's the case, Jeremy. Um, I really believe that the original cheesesteak was not made with Wiz. It was probably made with provolone cheese. Um, so Little Tony says you've been very open and honest in your videos about barbecue catering and the business of barbecue and your experiences. You would make a good live instructor for how to operate and start a pop-up business. I don't disagree. It's just a matter of trying to get it done. The state of Maryland is just not very conducive to something along those lines. I wish I was, and I won't say I wish I was somewhere else. I wish it was easier. Hojo said, what are you smoking for the 500-person catering event coming up? Pork, chicken, beef. I could look back at the invoice. But it's going to be 3 meats, beef, chicken, and pork. Some green beans, some baked beans, pasta salad, macaroni salad, coleslaw. Then I have to get Taste Tester number 2 is standing here dancing for whatever reason. Can you turn out those lights, please?
I'm still in there.
Oh, you're still working.
I don't have to get up.
What are you doing?
I have midterms tomorrow, Friday.
So you're studying? Oh, I thought it looked like you were writing an essay or something.
Oh, I am writing a little bit. Just more so notes.
Okay. Jimmy said, and the ribeye and butter mushroom and onions that was left over. Plate was thrown out and cook took it out. They rolled leftover steak and gave it to a homeless man to feed him. Huh. Yeah, so Hojo, I answered your question about sides before I even saw your question about sides. But yeah, I'm doing. Then I think I have to get some sodas, some waters. I don't know. Hojo says you got some help for that gig, or you doing it solo? The I'm gonna say same people, but the people who helped me before, I'm gonna try to reach out to them and see if they can are free to help me. But both of my boys have said that they wanted to help. I don't know if Taste House #1 will be available. My wife said she would be available to help as well, but having all of these people willing to help is a double-edged sword because what ends up happening, or what could possibly end up happening, is now that Vicky is, or excuse me, Vanna is down, I don't have as much room to take stuff. So I might end up having to take my wife's van with all of the food. And if that's the case, we might end up having to take two vehicles if enough people from my house go to help. My wife says she would help. Like I said, my middle son and my oldest son, they're down to help. And if they go, then my daughter will go. Because believe it or not, she's very helpful. um, and then I have a friend of the family. I always reach out to her whenever I have an event. One of my one of my friends, his now wife, she will help if she's available, and then she has a friend that will help, and then one of my friends, my friend Roger, who's gone, like he's done quite a few adventures with me, barbecue and non-barbecue related. He's willing to help too. Tony said essay. What are you calling him? A term paper? No, I asked him was he writing an essay. Jimmy said there's a location about 2 miles away from me that is very accommodating to the barbecue business. Nice. I made a sandwich over a burning barrel, trash can later, smothered it with cheese whiz, and shared it with the cook. They gave him the food. Huh. Tony says, terrible dad joke. It's all right, man. I understand. Hojo says Angela isn't going to this one. I'm not sure. I might have to hit her up and see what she's doing. The cook made it for someone, and that's where the filly was born. It was good. It was good. He said, "How was the drink?" It was good. It's very sweet, but again, very low. Very low alcohol percentage. When I say very low, it's 12%. Jimmy says a guy from Baltimore could do very well cooking this barbecue there. Yeah. Huh. Russ says, "Yo, you should slap Bessie on top of that non-gas car and call it an electric smoker." Greg says, "How do you base how much size you make for 500 people?" I break it down into numbers, man. I kind of say that I want to have a 4 ounce or like a 2 to 4 ounce portion per person, but I know that everyone is not going to take everyone is not going to take every single bit of sides. Like I make baked beans, I make green beans, I'll have potato salad, coleslaw, um, and possibly macaroni salad. And to be completely honest with you, it's a wild ass guess, a wag. But I try to break down the percentage, not percentage, but the ounces. And each thing I get, usually I can weigh it out or know how many ounces come in the can or what have you. And then I just kind of go from there. It really has, I'm gonna say befuddled me, but it has been the hardest thing I've had to do. Tony says, "How are you able to smoke in the garage or that enclosed building? Do you vent the smoke outside, or do you have a way to remove the smoke from the air?" So it is closed uh, in appearance only. Let's put it that way. The majority of the smoke goes out of the window. Like there's I won't say plenty, but there's lots of videos where you see the smoke sack goes out of a window. And the majority of the smoke, and when I say majority, probably 70-75% of the smoke goes out the window. And then the garage, the roof is covered, but the rafters and eaves are not 100% sealed. So a lot of the smoke just permeates out of the building. So one of the things I have had issues with or problems with is if I'm cooking during, or if I start my smokers during the day, um, and people can see the smoke, they swear the building is on fire because of the way the smoke comes out from under the eaves of the roof. So more often than not, I try to start my fires either when it's raining or before the sun comes up, because people will smell the smoke and not know where the smoke is coming from necessarily, which can cause its own problems. But once I get the fire going, it's pretty good. Race is 8 ounces per person. That many sides. I don't. Yeah, I'm doing smaller amounts of size than 8 ounces. 8 ounces is a lot. Um, Plus this is like I'm thinking like 2 to 4 ounces is my, I'm gonna say, measurement. Um, Jeremy says it was actually a hot dog cart owner that tried it back in the 30s. So Darnell, I'm not. I'm. This event is. It's It's at a school and there's a buffet line set up. So I'm not giving the food to people like to take away. So it's a, like I said, it's a buffet type thing. So the portions, I would hope the portions are a little smaller. And then one of the other things too, I'm going to try to have my folks that are helping me dole out the food and give smaller portions on, I'm gonna say, on purpose, but to help make things stretch. Um, the most Greg said the most I fed was about 100 people, but I'm opening the food truck, so I'm playing around. So I'm playing around the numbers. Nice. Greg said 8 ounces is a whole lot. Hojo said banana pudding on the menu. For whom? My menu or your menu, Hojo? Laura, she says, "Hey Dash, all 3 days working, rough days. Going to leave it running while I get ready for bed. Hugs, hugs, eh? Smoker, smoker smoke is different than a house fire, though. Not when you first start up the smoker. Speaking of which, I drove past a house fire today in Northern Virginia. I was in Dulles, and it was a huge fire. And I don't, some people might be familiar with where Dulles is. I was at the Dulles Expo Center, and I was driving down the toll road towards DC, and for 5 6 miles, I could see the smoke like up in the air. And as I got closer to it, I kept looking, and when I finally got to the point where I saw the smoke, I looked over and I could see it was huge, like this huge house was on fire. Fire. Um, Jimmy says, thinking about closing the gables on the front of my cook shack. Do you think the smoke would vent out the sides? From what I remember, your shack was angled, right? The roof was angled. If it's angled, that smoke is going to rise and then billow out. It's going to take the path of least resistance, so it's going to rise because it is warmer, right? And then it's just going to like billow out from wherever. It, Trust me, it'll find a way. Even if you stuck, and I've done this before, where I have stuck a fan like in the rafters in the ceiling and just move some air, that fan will get rid of a lot of that smoke. But the only problem with that is, and this is one of the things I found, um, when you put a fan on it, you're going to make that smell and smoke go way further than you think, and it's going probably not garner, but say in my experience, more people have seen the smoke than I'm trying to get rid of the smoke out of the garage. Hojo said, great idea to serve the food. If they serve themselves, they will overserve themselves. Exactly. Jeremy says, I can tell when someone in the neighborhood fires up a grill. Sure enough, me too. I'm like a smoke hound. Is banana pudding going to be on your menu? My menu? No, 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 no. I make banana pudding for my family. That's about it for right now. Um, but if I get to that point where I am cooking and doing stuff every day, or it may be, but I don't know. There's a girl in Baltimore, and she makes some fantastic banana pudding. And I would be on my I would do I won't say her, I would do myself a disservice and not get her to do my banana pudding. She is affectionately known as the Puddin' Lady, Puddin, the Puddin' Lady, the Puddin, Puddin Lady. And I mean, hard hard pressed. I make good banana pudding, but you know how you find somebody that makes something that's so good that you're willing to pay for it? That's how I am with her banana pudding. I'm willing to pay for it, like wholeheartedly. Texas Confederate, what's going on, man? How you doing? Jeremy said 500 plus or minus is the most he's cooked for at one time. Nice. Hojo said his dad worked at the Dulles Marriott in the early 70s. What? Something about the Redskins at the hotel on game day. Still have signed Billy Kilmer football. Okay. Don't know who Billy Kilmer is. I'm not a Redskins fan, so uh Grumpus has maybe installed a ridge vent. So he doesn't have a ridge. It's more like a lean-to. Um and you could go back and look at his videos, um, Grumpus, when he built his shelter. And it's one of those things where unfortunately you can't I was there at Jimmy's house and I saw his his cook shack, and cook shack is loose because is it three walls, so two sides and the back, or is it, yeah, I think it's three walls, so two sides and the back. So but there's no ridge. It's not like a traditional roof. It's more like a lean-to. um but even if you were to take and put some sort of fan at the highest point on one of those ends, or it'll move the smoke. It'll move the smoke. Tony said I'm a firefighter. When the tones drop for a call, smoke billowing out of eaves on the house. We don't know the difference. We're rolling and an engine and crew. Oh yes, indeed. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, Tony. So I've been cooking out of my house in my garage for quite some time. And let's go back to like 2015. Um, I I've had the fire department show up in my house a couple times, like to the point where they know who I am at this point, and I won't say they know not to like tear stuff down, but I try to call fire communications, like the dispatchers, and tell them, hey, I'm cooking. So you don't need to come in with axes and whatnot into my house, into my garage. But it really, like if a call goes out of a possible dwelling fire, they send three pump trucks, or so three engines, three ladders. There's 10 units that come out all told. So it might be two engines, two ladders, one EMS, oh, a chief, two police. How many is that? That's not enough. So two engines, two ladders, one EMS, a chief, police. So that's only like six or seven. So there's three more apparatus that come out. So it might be like another police. So it might be two police, two EMS, three pumps, three engines and 3 ladders and 2 chiefs. But there's 10 units that come out all told. Ask me how I know. Like, yeah. So I got to the point where one of the engines, one of the guys from the engines or the ladder truck, he's like, yo, if you're starting a fire, he's like, here's this number. Take this number down. Call fire communications and let them know you're going to be starting a fire, who you are, what you're doing, so that if we get a call, he's like, if we get a call, we have to investigate. He said, but if we get a call, we can send 1 unit to investigate as opposed to sending 10. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I've gotten a little lax lately on calling because a lot of times I'm cooking in the middle of the night, early, so late at night or early in the morning, to the point where the only thing you see is a single, like smokestack, and that's more or less just steam, and it's coming from a single stack. So most people don't really bat an eye; they think it's just a chimney. But when I'm starting my smokers, is when it's usually a problem. And if I can start it, like I said, before the sun comes up or right after the sun goes down, yeah. Leave the gables open or vent and put a fan in the gables blowing a cross section. Yeah. Now the gamble the smoke will find its way out the vent. Yep. And require vent wires so the only run when needed. Yep. Now, Texas Confederate said, "I'm very sorry that I that I don't get to watch all of your Wednesday night get-togethers." He said he lives in Mountain Time, and sometimes I don't get off work until 8 or 9. Dude, man, don't apologize. Look, Sean's just showing up. He's not on Mountain Time, so I get it. He said, Sean said, "What up? What up? How you doing, man?" Jeremy said he volunteers. He said he's been there. Yeah, man, dude. I mean, oh, yeah, I'm gonna say it's embarrassing, but in the middle of the night, like there was one time early on when I was cooking. Like I'm cooking and it was cold, so I'm cooking in the middle of the night, and I heard fire trucks, and I'm just like, wow, fire trucks, they kind of close. Didn't really think much of it, and I had the garage door closed because it was like I started the fire and everything was good, and I had the garage door closed because it was cold, and I am like I hear people talking. I'm like, people talking, like what the hell? And like at the bottom of the garage door, I could see a light shining, and then I hear somebody say, "Is there anybody in there?" I'm like, in a garage? Yeah, I'm in here. It's like, are you all right? Like, yeah, I'm fine. I push the door, open the door, and my man is like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm cooking." "You're cooking? Wait, what are you cooking?" I'm like, "Brisket, pork." So I'm like, well, all these dudes, man, it was like 4 dudes came in, full on turn down gear. I'm like, hi. It's like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And he said, "What are you doing in here?" I'm like, "I'm cooking." "Inside the garage?" "Yeah, it's cold outside." "Okay, well, we're seeing a whole bunch of smoke and this and the other." I'm like, "No, it's contained." I'm like, the fire's away from the wall, the fire's away from everything. It's self-contained right in here. I'm like, I just added a couple pieces of wood. Maybe that's what someone saw the smoke. But nah, I'm like, I'm good. It's good. I'm like, all right. And dudes came in the garage, and this is the story where I told you they bought a brisket from me right then and there. One dude, I guess he was in charge of making dinner that night, and he's like, "When will these be done?" And I'm like, in a couple hours, whatever. He's like, "How much was one of these?" And at the time, it was $100. I'm like, a whole brisket is $100. He looked at the rest of his crew, and he's like, "You okay with paying a little extra for dinner tonight? You okay with paying a little extra for dinner?" And we're like, "Yeah." My man reached in his turn down gear, pulled out his wallet. He paid me like half the money right then and there or whatever. He's like, "All right, when it's done, bring it down to the firehouse." He's like, "You know where we are?" "Yeah, right down the street." "Yeah, bring it down to the firehouse this afternoon." Okay. Yeah, so uh Grandpa said he's been here 72 minutes and just started paying attention. He never pays attention. Never pays attention. Tony Soprano said, "Yes, sir, dude. I'm telling you, man. And then I've also had. I have a souvenir. I have a Baltimore City um, fireman axe in my garage, because somebody there was a new company, a different company that came out, and so they came out, and this captain, he comes in my garage and he's like, "What the hell are you doing in here?" I'm like, "Making barbecue." "Why the hell are you doing it inside of a garage?" I'm like, "To stay out of the weather." "Don't you know it's illegal to have a fire inside of a structure in Baltimore City, blah blah blah?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." Any other time anyone else from the fire department has come here, they've pretty much said, "Carry on." You're the first person that said that there's been a problem. "Well, I'm writing you a citation." For what? You're not supposed to be doing. I mean, my man was ramming. I'm like, "Yo, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're going way too hard, my man." So he's reading me the riot act, right? I'm like, "All right." I said, "Well, the fire is away from the wall. There's no chemicals near the fire. There's no this, no that." He's like, so then the captain finished reading me the riot act, and then the chief, sorry, finished reading me the riot act. Um, then the captain starts in on me, and he's asking me questions about everything, this and that. And I remember Taste Tester number 2 was out there, or he came down, so it might not have been in the middle of the night. So the captain was asking me questions, and every one of the questions, I'm like, I thought through this because I've been out here for a while cooking. Um, I'll answer that. And the guy is looking for something to ding me on, right? And this might have been a different situation, but the captain was like, "Oh man," he's like, the he's telling Chase us number 2, he's like, "Yo, your father seems like he's got this well under control. He seems like he's doing a good thing here." And he didn't know what was going on, but I'm like, "All right, cool, thanks." When they left, I realized that somebody left the axe in my garage, and I was like, "Thank you very much." uh, so Tony says, "You better believe, as a firefighter and a guy who cooks at the firehouse, we got to eat good." Yeah. Jeremy says, "I let the neighbors know I smoke meats, and I have gotten jobs from just letting them know. And I don't call the fire department, but I always give the fire department notice if it will be an open pit." Yeah, no problem. So I'd say Baltimore City is a little different because it is. I'm not in the middle of the country, and where my house is, like, there have been times where people have called the fire department on me because the smoke will carry. So I am one block off of a major street, right? A thoroughfare. And if the wind is blowing in a certain direction, it'll carry the smoke towards that major street. And there's a lot of traffic that goes up and down that major street. And what happened one of the times that the fire department was called was the smoke was carrying over to that major street. So people were driving up and down the street, and they're like, you can clearly smell smoke, you can clearly see smoke, but no one knew where it's coming from because I'm a block away from that major street. So they ended up sending fire trucks, and man, when I say these dudes were scrambling trying to find out where the fire was, I mean, they came like gangbusters through the woods trying to find where the smoke was coming from, and they found it. They found me. And I'm like, "Hi, how's everybody doing?" I'm like, "Nothing to see here." Jeremy says, "Don't really have any problem anymore. Been cooking here for 16 years." Yep. Uh, yeah. I appreciate that, Texas Confederate, man. Really, I do. I do. And I haven't forgotten. I owe you guys some videos. The, uh, is it last 6 or 7 videos from last month. I just haven't had a chance to film them. Oh, I got hat head now. I wanted to film them on Tuesday, but actually, because that's when I'm home alone, and I could like knock them out and film them. But of course, it's the beginning of the month, and I actually have work to do. Uh, Tony says your fire department knows how to read smoke. We know food cooking versus burning. Reading smoke is learned through experience. Yep, smelling good food is also learned from experience. Yes, indeed. And that's one of the things too. Like a lot of times, you can't always like if I'm starting my fire, like if I'm starting a wood burning fire as well, you can't always smell the food when you can see the smoke. Um, because I'm just starting the fire, you tend to see the smoke more than you can smell it, um, or smell food cooking. Mr. Richard, how you doing this afternoon? Well, it's the afternoon, this evening. Jimmy says the neighbor behind me mostly with wood in winter, so I don't get blamed for smoke. Oh, he says the neighbors behind me heat mostly with wood, so in winter I don't get blamed for smoke. That's a good thing. There are not very many, if any, houses in my immediate vicinity that use wood burning fireplaces. Usually a telltale sign of somebody using a wood burning fireplace is seeing a wood pile. And I don't see very many in my neighborhood. I don't cook inside though. I have a backyard pavilion I cook under. Nice. Tony says you're a good dude. I got your back. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Next time I get to a jam, I'm gonna be like, yo, can you look up Lil Tony Soprano? Lil Tony, Anthony. Like hit him, Anthony. Meadows got me. Yeah. Texas Confederate said I have smell-o-vision and I can smell all the cooks that you do. Yeah, buddy. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised. There are, I don't say lots of, but there are. I don't film everything. I did a leg of lamb for someone last Friday, and it was, I mean, just a boneless leg of lamb. Nothing spectacular. Actually, I did it on Tracy, not Tracy, on Charlotte, the Weber kettle, and it was a convenience thing. I'm like, oh, I have to deliver this lamb after I pick up taste testing number 3 from school. So I started the fire like 10:30 in the morning, and I put the lamb on about 11, and I let it cook. It was like 2.5 hours that the lamb cooked before I was done. Took it out, sliced it up, and it was funny because my wife was on a conference call, and I'm sneaking her lamb while she's on this conference call with her supervisor, or actually her second line supervisor. Um, but it was just funny. But that was the last thing I cooked. And like I said, it's just I don't know what it is. Sometimes I just don't feel like setting up the cameras and doing everything I have to do to make a video. I got to get back into it though. Got to just it's got to be the right thing where I'm excited about it. Like I'll cook, but I'm not excited about filming what I cook sometimes. Jeremy says he does tarp it off in bad weather. Yeah, man, that is a thing. Like that is a blessing that I have. Like being able to cook inside. I very rarely have to deal with the elements, but there are times when the wind is blowing just in that correct wrong direction, and it'll send wind and cold air in through the chimney into the cooking chamber and out of the firebox. And I've like there's I know I have it on video somewhere of an exceptionally windy day and that fire going the wrong way out, or the airflow going the wrong way out of the smoker, and flames coming out the side out the firebox. Jeremy says I have them set up like curtains. Yeah, man, shoot, nothing wrong with that. I have cooked outside and had to set up like air dams on the side of the house when I was using, excuse me, like the number one drum again on windy days when the wind comes in and it'll mess with your fire, man. It'll mess with your fire. Mm. So gotta do what you gotta do, right? Definitely. Mm-mm. Other than that, what's been going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? New year, new me. New year, same me. That's how I feel. Anybody doing anything crazy? What up, Marlon? He says, "Hey, yo, Dash, how you doing this evening, Marlon? How's everything?" Marlon, I love when Marlon gets here because Marlon gets here later in the evenings, and then Marlon he starts off by being like, "Hey, Dash, how you doing?" And then he'd be like, "So, what's your favorite negative?" Like Marlon about to ask some more off the wall movie question or something. Um, Marlon, I thought of you the other day. I saw a video on Instagram, and it was like, "If wrestling is fake, explain this." And it was two guys in the ring, and one guy was running around, running around, running around, and then the second guy was like an older guy and a younger guy. The younger guy was dressed up like a baby, and I can't remember if he had a full on mask on or if the older guy had on like a luchador, mask, whatever. But one of them I thought had a mask on, and dude was running around, and then he like smacked the younger guy or something, and then he picked the younger guy up, held him in his arms, and rocked him, rocked him like a baby, rocked him to sleep. My man sets him down gently on the mat, right? Gently on the mat. And then, he's telling the ref like, shh, he's sleeping, shh. So he's laid out on the mat like the ref is like, and then the guy that's asleep, he turns over on the side like he rolled over and no 3 count. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Um Quentin says tree is finally down, broke a few ornaments. This is good times. Nah, man. See, you could tell you live in a house without pets or young children. You still have glass ornaments. Mm-mm. I learned a long time ago, no glass ornaments. We only get plastic ones. Jeremy says maybe start doing cooking shows that isn't barbecue. I do Dutch oven, griddle, campfire stuff. May help get the excitement back. That's why I'm changing it up. Definitely agree, and I have done some other or alternative videos. But the whole thing is, it's one of those things where I've kind of doubled down on doing catering videos and talking about the business of barbecue. But it's hard to film a barbecue catering video or barbecue business video when I don't have business to film. Uh, da, 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 da. Jimmy says I have two sides closed up and 8 foot pull down shades on the other side. That almost closes me off from the wind. Yep. Uh, Marlon says just watch AEW once and it'll change your mind. Not gonna happen. I'm just nope, 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 nope. I mean, I'm sure you've heard wrestling been described as a men's soap opera. I firmly believe and agree with that. I'm just not my thing, Marlon. Now I'll tell you this, I also don't sit and watch very much TV. I will get into a mood where I'm like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna watch. Like right now, I've been watching a show it's on Netflix, and I am of the I will binge watch something versus trying to watch it one episode 1 week at a time. I just can't. Like I can't get strung along. I can't be strung along like that. It's like all or nothing. But the show is called New Amsterdam, and I really, really dig it. Really like it. Jeremy says I can cook barbecue. It's almost boring anymore. Even though it's good, I just feel I have gone as far as I can go with it. With what I know, it's hard to find anything I haven't heard before. So, Jeremy, I will agree with you there 100%. I find the same thing where I find it difficult to film something that's entertaining that I haven't filmed already. But what you have to keep in mind, and then this is one of those things that I talk about from time to time, is every video you do is going to be someone's first video of yours they see. I'm gonna say that again, so it hits you and you can hear me. Every video you do is going to be someone's first video of yours they see, which means that if you do something new or old in a video, it's going to be new to someone. Will it be new to everyone? No. Will some people be like, "You're doing this again?" Quite possibly. But those people who are complaining about free content on YouTube, that I just I don't get it. I mean, you have so many other things that you can do on YouTube, and YouTube definitely is very good at showing you alternative content where you like, why am I watching this man raise some concrete steps with some sort of foam or whatever it is? Why am I watching this driveway being leveled and the cracks being taken out of it? Like, why? Why am I watching a tree being cut down? Why am I watching a lake getting dredged? Like, that has nothing to do with barbecue. Yet and still, YouTube was like, uh-huh. I know what you're gonna like. You know what I've been really into lately? Machining videos. Machining. Yo, I don't know. I mean, I know from the videos I've seen how to machine different things, but I love the aspect of making something from nothing. Welding videos. I used to love watching welding videos. And then, like, I used to watch a welder in particular, and he just went off the deep end with the conspiracy theories and with his politics and other stuff like this. And I'm like, bruh, I just want to watch you melt metal. Can we not make this about something bigger than it has to be? Like, sometimes you want an escape. And that's what YouTube is for me. Jeremy says a day in the life of a barbecue caterer. So I would love to do that, Jeremy, but you gotta remember, and this is one of those things. I feel like I have to be careful in what I put out there because the things that I do are not 100% on board. I am a very small caterer, and I know that I don't have 100% of the things that I say need, and I don't want to, incriminate myself more. So, plus, I also don't want to give you 100%. I don't say toolkit, but I don't want to give away 100% of the things I do. There's some things I want to keep for myself. So I can't tell you everything. Marlon said, "I love New Amsterdam. So I hate this last season. So I'm on season 2. So I'm on like episode 6, season 2. So don't tell me." Bumpy says, "How many pounds do you think you trim off of your briskets?" 368 from Sam's. Price has been pretty good. So if I'm doing let's say a 13 to 15 pound brisket, I might trim a pound or two off of the brisket. Uh, the one thing you gotta remember is the fat is um there's hot water in the thing. It's not hot anymore, or they used it off. Oh. Um Fat doesn't weigh as much as the muscle does. So though you're trimming a lot of the fat off, it really doesn't weigh that much. But I also don't weigh the fat. Usually I'm trimming and it goes right to the trash, or usually it's right to the trash. Um, so yeah. Quentin says to go with what that said. If I need to find a video on how to smoke a butt, I want the latest video out because in my mind the old videos are outdated. Not necessarily, Quentin. Not necessarily. Um, because here's the thing. The first people who put up videos or the older videos that you see or find on YouTube, in my opinion, were genuine. These new videos, I'ma smoke a pork butt, and like it's somebody trying to reinvent the wheel. In my opinion, it's someone who is jumping the shark per se. It's someone who's doing something radical and interesting and new, or something that doesn't need to be radical, interesting, or new. Cook the pork shoulder. Like I've told you guys who were here, I've told you guys before. Somebody's like, oh, I did pulled pork, blah blah blah. This is the best pulled pork. That don't impress me much. Just call me Shania Twain, okay? That don't impress me much. You want to impress me? Cook me a brisket. Cook me a nice steak. Cook, a ribeye. Cook lamb, okay? Something that takes a little bit of skill. Pork shoulder, you just cook it until you think it's done. Once you think it's done, cook it, cook it longer. Hojo said, have a great rest of the week, friends. I have a bad connection here, and if he keeps going in and out, he says, cook on. Russ said, why out blades? Yo, I don't know what it was, man. I just raspberry gemstones says hi. Well, hi to you too. I watched a video of somebody cutting grass, and the person that was cutting the grass, his name was like the landscape juggernaut or something like that, and he had a snippet of Al Blade's video of him, like he had a rap song about landscaping called "Cut It Up, Cut It Up, Cut It Up." Every day, it was a good song, and it made me look into Al Blades, and then I started watching Al Blades. But even then, it's like I can only watch so much of that. Russ said, I keep watching them through and using the sped up thing too. Oh, Russ said he kept watching them though, and he's using the sped up thing. Nice. Do you know how much time I've watched power washing and people cutting bad lawns? Yep. I have no idea why, but yes, I have to watch things that it does not affect my life in any kind of way. Exactly. Like, yeah. Jimmy said, I have a guy that I can blame everything on. I'm good. It's always him. Yep. Jeremy said, that's why I was saying, hit back about talk. Oh, saying a bit back about talking about PPU or a day in the life, working on the car, fixing this or that. If you're interested and have personality, people will watch. Agreed. So, the pew pew thing, I definitely I keep toying with the idea of talking about it. The problem is what scares me to death is I don't want the content I already have on YouTube to be taken away from me. And I don't want to start anew. So yeah, there's that. Texas Confederate said I save all the fat trimmings that I cut off and use it for future cooks. He said fat is good. Yeah, when you're cooking, and I don't know, and I don't know how much you're cooking, but I feel like I have enough. Like I've harvested tallow. I've harvested fat and made tallow. I've harvested fat, and I have it in the freezer for me to make sausage. And I mean, I've harvested enough. Like I have enough fat around here, but I just like I nothing to do with it. Grumpy says I love watching tree cutting, stump removals, and stupid fireworks people. Yeah, man. So that dude, and I don't know his name, but he ran the channel Guilty of Treason, and then he left that arborist company and started his own new channel, and his new channel basically just surpassed his old channel, the Guilty of Treason channel. And I'll sit and watch some of his videos from time to time. And he's just cutting down trees. Like, yeah. Jeremy says, just have to do what you feel is right. Personality, I like the live show. The best having guests each week or call-ins. Yeah. Jeremy says would be awesome. Just open it up. Yeah. Geraldo says later. Hello. Thanks for joining us. You could have said hi earlier. And if you did say hi and I missed you saying hi earlier, I do apologize. I don't see all of the comments all of the time. We can all have opinions and agree to disagree. If so, be it. There you go, Jeremy. There you go. But you know what, man? I tell you, sometimes those people who disagree, like Jeremy, you and I disagreed earlier about the gas stove thing. I'm telling you, man. Sometimes people just be in too deep, and sometimes it's not that critical. It's not like people take it to a place where it doesn't need to be. Marlon said, I've tried to watch pool cleaning. I can never get past 30 minutes. I now see pool cleaning that's something that I don't know. But it's crazy you say that, right? You can never watch pool cleaning. I don't own a pool, okay? But when I'm at my mother-in-law's house, if I am there while the pool guy is there, I'll be standing there just like this, watching what the hell he's doing. Do I watch the entire thing? No. But I find it interesting when he is doing what he's doing. Grumpus says, I mean, trees falling on houses, trucks, neighbors, pools, etc. You know what videos I used to... Oh, man. The cash cam videos. Cash cam videos. Like the Russian and European cash or dash crash videos. Sit and watch those for hours. Because you just never know what is getting ready to happen. You know something bad is about to happen. You never know what is about to happen. Somebody on a scooter gets hit. Somebody in a bus stop, a car careens, like somebody goes off the road because they try to pass somebody and they lose control of their vehicle. Those videos, man. Talking about, I'm going to say comedy gold, but just gold. Internet gold. Sonny, what's going on, man? Happy New Year to you, too. Where you been? Grandma says, yes, dash cam videos. Yes, indeed. Marlon says, Theus, and I guess I fight all the time. As you know, the deal is just don't be personally disrespectful, and we all good. Yep. Yeah, Jeremy says, mountains out of molehills, brothers. Yeah, buddy. Oof, goodness. Taste us a number 2.
Yes.
What are you doing over there?
I'm drinking some hot water. My throat was hurting.
All right, it's just getting late. You need to go ahead to bed, buddy.
I still have more to do.
You still have more to do.
I'm almost done.
Almost done. All right.
I
Maybe.
have no promises.
So the whole thing is this, right? It's a catch-22, and I want you to hear me out. You're up late when you need to be asleep and get a good night's rest so that you can be effective on your midterm, right? But you think it's imperative that you study, but there comes a point of diminishing return where you are up too late trying to study and then you're not effective and your test taking tomorrow. All right? So maybe wrap it up and study on the bus a little bit, or I don't want to say you can get up early in the morning because that means I have to wake you up early in the morning, and I'm not trying to do that.
I can make myself up. I'm making myself up some days.
Okay. Some days or every day?
Some days.
I want it to be every day. You can. Yeah. Case in point, you're staying up late tonight, and had you gone to bed a little earlier, you wouldn't have such a hard time getting up tomorrow. North Texas barbecue addicts, what's going on, man? How you doing this evening? Jeremy says, "Damn, girl, but you like watching people break stuff, dude. You like to see people's stuff get broken. I don't think they want to break it, but yeah." Texas Confederate says, "Mo Butter, baby." That's taste tester number 2. Taste tester number 3. Thank goodness she's already asleep. Number 2 was my pancake guy. Number 1 was good with popcorn, the stovetop popcorn making. But let's say I'm trying to get him to go to bed, but it is almost 11, and he's got to get up tomorrow morning at 5:30 ish, and tomorrow is Thursday. You got to get up early tomorrow because you have practice, don't you?
No,
I thought you had practice Tuesday, Thursday in the morning.
I do, but it's midterm. They can't have practice.
Oh, all right. So no practice in the morning, which means he does not have to get up that early. Kenneth, yes, yes, yes. Jeremy says, "Let's watch this guy drop a tree on his house." Yeah, yo, man, those videos where you hear somebody actively drinking a beer and you see someone actively wielding a chainsaw, you just know this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Or again, you see someone or hear someone actively drinking a beer and you see a chain being strung from the back of a pickup truck. Ooh, that's gonna be good. And you see someone like yank the bumper off of their pickup truck, or break the chain and their back glass, or tear off. Oh man, dude, I watched a video the other day of it was a dually towing side by sides on like a wedge trailer, or it was a gooseneck trailer. It might not have been a wedge, but it was a gooseneck trailer, and it was like up some sort of sandy dirt road, and like you could see people in the background, like staging to go up this hill. And this person went up this hill and he was getting it. He was getting it. And then all of a sudden, dang, 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 that trailer was like, bing, boom, 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 boom. I started going back down the hill. The trailer jumped off the gooseneck, tore off the bed of the tailgate of the truck, and then started rolling back down the hill to the point where the trailer flipped on its side, and the side by side that was on the back got messed up. And it was like, wow. Uh Kenneth, so how's it going, man? Marlon says, "Preach. I have to tell my daughter that all the time. Just take your butt to bed." Yes, indeed. Russ says, "Why is there so many?" Grandma says, "I can't not watch." Exactly. Text the Confederate says, like, "Yeah, hold my bear. This is gonna be good." Uh-huh. Oh, Grandpa says, "And the DIY log splitters." He says, "Priceless." Yes, Jimmy says, "Hold my beer and watch this." Yep. Don says, "They always look so surprised." I know. When something goes wrong, you're like, how could it go wrong? Easy. You have your camera out and you've been drinking. That's 2 out of 3. Yep. Jeremy says, "I get up at 5 every day." I'm up pretty early as well. Like, towards the end of my vacation, I was actually sleeping. And when I say sleeping, I was sleeping in until about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm up usually at I used to be like Mondays. I'm up at 4:15 ish because I try to leave my house about 5. But every other day I'm up at 5:30, 5:30, quarter to 6. Depends on if I have to wake up them. Well, at least taste lesson number 2. If I have to wake him up, I wake him up at 5:30, and then I try to lay back down, and I get up at quarter of, and then I get dressed and get logged on for 6 o'clock. Bobby says no drinking tonight, so I drank some soju. So I went out to K-pop with some of my coworkers from the range on Monday night, and at the K-Pot is BYOB, but they don't allow you to have hard liquor. So they said you can bring soju. So I went and got some of the soju. So this is a like a strawberry mixer. So if you've never heard of soju before, soju is a rice. I'll say wine because it's a rice liquor. But this is flavored, so it's kind of like taking an absolute, or not absolute, yeah, well, not an absolute, like a Bacardi or Malibu, and then like dumbing it down to how it's almost like a cooler or a mixer. Excuse me, but I drank one of those. I am out of moonshine. I'm out of clear. My guy's been slacking on his production, but now Christmas, I was away, and I'm sure he's made stuff for other people. Jeremy says, I like mud trucks that blow up in the middle of the mud pit. Ooh, those are always fun. Yo, not even the mud trucks that blow up in the middle of the pit. Diesel trucks and diesel tractors that are doing like sled pulls. Every single one of you roll the dice like, is it about to blow up? Is it gonna blow up? Is it gonna be carnage? Oh, full pull, yay! Is it gonna blow up? Is it gonna, make it? Is it gonna blow up? Is it gonna make it? Oh my god, that block is tumbling down the, it's crazy. Russ said my wife comments when the husband drops a tree on the house, or the wife comments when the husband drops a tree on the house, or prices. Yes, indeed. Terry says I like watching car stereo installs. Texas Confederate says, yeah, alcohol must have been involved. Mm-hmm. mm. Bumpy says, so no drinking tonight? It's 12% alcohol. I tell you, when I was sitting at the K-Pot with my friends, I drank two and a half of them, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, feeling something. But no, nothing really hard tonight. I am, I am getting ready to go to sleep. Yeah, Jimmy, I know, man. Jimmy, I am out. I I drank faster than I could get some from my guy. Usually I'm pretty good, but I have to, like, I'm working on just trying to be patient. I'm working on it, but I'm trying to be patient. Um, I'm hoping I might be able to get something going from him this weekend. Uh, like I said, I haven't had anything from him since early in December. So we're going on a month, and I know stuff slows down in the winter, and I'm not complaining. I mean, I actually drank some store bought liquor for the first time in months last week. I mean, months. Brisket Medic, what's going on? Zach, how is life going? He says, hey, yo, but in Razor Ramon's voice. Who's Razor Ramon? Winner is ask ahead time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I gotta squirrel some away. So the whole thing is, for Christmas, because I knew I was gonna be in Florida, I actually gathered everything that I had, and I had like a half. It was a little less than a half gallon, so it probably was like three-quarters of a gallon, and I took it with me to Florida, and I drank a little bit when I got to Florida, and I drank a little bit while I was there on Saturday, and I didn't drink on Christmas Day, which was Sunday. But then when I got back home and I wasn't feeling very well, I was drinking here. So I drank up the last of my moonshine. Because like I said, I had about 3/4 of a half gallon, so probably a quart and a half. So yeah. Nope. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't know who Razor Ramon is. I'm sure if I looked it up, looked him up. Let me just turn around and look him up right now, cause y'all, I feel like y'all not gonna leave me alone until Razor Ramon. Razor Ramon. This is no. Let's speed this up a little bit. I mean, I remember this guy, but I don't remember his voice or. Oh, he had that move, the Razor's Edge. Razor Ramon's debut.
We're back with more WWF action. All right, Mr. Perfect. Well, find out whether. Actually, I didn't think he was this large. He is a monster of a man, isn't he? He wants to make an auspicious occasion out of this. Razor Ramon, ready to lock up with his opponent, Paul Van Dal. Oh, well, there we see a land of opportunity. Ooh.
All right, let's see. Razor Ramon restaurant promo.
Nothing too good for Razor Ramon. Good food, good drink, good chicas. Only some people.
All right, I heard his voice finally. Russ said my daughter is pissed I finished her bottle of Crown Royal Peach. Yeah, I need to get a new. I haven't bought any Crown Peach in a while, a long time. One of my favorite spirits right now is Terramana tequila. I don't like tequila. This rock brand. First you love it, then you first love. I don't know. Said that she didn't get the AO Razor Ramon comment. I didn't watch wrestling. I'm not a big wrestling guy. Like, I remember Razor Ramon now after looking him up, but I already knew. I'm like, yeah. Hojo says you need to make your own still and put it out in the garage next to the smokers. Mm-hmm. Again, there's another thing, right? It's like, how can I do something like that, which is not supposed to be done, and want to film it to get content from it? Like, how can I do that? How? I would love to, but I don't want my house raided or anything like that. So, no, look, I got a guy. Brisket Medic says, hard work pays off, dreams come true, bad times don't last, but bad guys do. Yes, indeed. What up? David, how are you doing this evening? Blind Man Cooking. He said, what's up, everyone? The late Razor Ramon, he passed away a few months ago. Oh. Zach says, RIP Scott Hall. And I mean, usually I remember folks whose names are Scott, crazy reason. Had a brand. I just found out that Snoop had a new wine out. Yeah. Kevin Nash. I do remember that name, but yeah. Bumpy says A dash. I wasn't big on tequila, but I make exception for good tequila. Still tequila, man. My girlfriend always says that tequila makes her clothes fall off. I'm sure you have no problem with that, Texas Confederate. None whatsoever. Grumpus is high distilled in Bessie. No, and I always spell it Bessie. No. Nope. Mm-mm. High distilled in Bessie. Okay. I remember Big Diesel. Y'all watched wrestling. I didn't. I'm telling you, like WWF, Hogan, and that was like I'm gonna say it. But yeah, I didn't watch wrestling. Yeah, I remember him. Kevin Scott Nash, American actor and retired professional wrestler. Mm-hmm. Mm. Marlon says, "Do you know The Rock?" Yes. Stone Cold? Yes. John Cena? Yes. Hell, Hulk Hogan? Yes. Give us something. I mean, sure. Undertaker and Junkyard Dog and Rowdy Piper, or Rowdy Roddy Piper. I'm just, I just I was never into wrestling. Like seriously, I watched wrestling in the early mid to late 80s, and that was like it. I just got out of wrestling and I started doing car stuff, like car stuff. Quentin says, "You didn't watch wrestling. What did you do in the late 90s?" I was watching car stuff, man. Watching people build cars and trucks and wrenching. And I was out riding my bike, man. I didn't sit and watch TV. Like, I just didn't. Um, Zach says Yankees don't know real sports like wrestling. Did you see the eye roll? Let's join in live in the yard with Dash. I don't know, Bumpy. I don't know. I just it's one of those things where if I have nothing to talk about, I'm like, okay, let me get other people to come in here. Georgia Animal Steel. Hojo said, "I'm more old school. Georgia NWA wrestling, Ricky Steamboat, Four Horsemen, American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Legion of Doom." Laura says, "Good night. Take care. Bye for now. Dash and all. Time to get me, get her butt in bed." Yeah, Triple H. Yes, I remember Triple H. What was it? Hunter Hearst Helmsley or something like that. See, Shawn Michael. Yeah, I remember Shawn Michael. And between Shawn and Brett, yep, I remember. Spencer Crowley says, "Don't worry, bro. Wrestling was never my thing either." Zach says, "Wrestling is real." Oh, I'm sorry. I have to read that like Marlon would say it. Wrestling is real. Hojo says, "Ox Baker and his heart punch still scares me." I feel like I'm about to get dredged again or dragged through the mud. Ox Baker. Do I need to look up Ox Baker? I don't know, man. I like. I don't know what I was doing in the late '90s, but I was not watching wrestling. Mm. Grover says, "I met Ox Baker once. He filled up most of the front seat in his LTD." See, you tell me about Ox Baker and then an LTD. I know what the LTD is. All right. Most people don't know what an LTD is. I do. I'm a car guy. All right. Zach said, "I almost turned into Chris Benoit." See, I can at least say his name when I got no Christmas presents. Look him up. Ojo said, "Ox Baker." Uh, Had a great mustache. Okay, you think I'm gonna take smack? Take smack from a guy that says it's water. Water. There is an R in water, and it's WOUDER. Water. You're wearing. Were you wearing parachute pants? No. And then, no, it was not actually. I did have a pair of hammer pants. Um, Cabaricis? No, definitely not Cabaricis. If I'm saying that correctly. Um, definitely didn't wear any Jordashes either. Are those Jordashes you're wearing? No. Mm-mm. I did have a pair of hammer pants. Did I have a pair of parachute pants? I may have had one, but that was like early 90s. Because, late 80s, early 90s. You got to remember, I was 15 in 95. So do the math backwards. Parachute pants, I probably was 10 to 12. Jimmy said, in the 90s, I was trying to see how far the front wheel of the Busa would go off the ground. Man, yo. That was another thing, too. No, Jimmy, the Busas came out in the early 2000s. Yeah. Busa. What was the... Oh, 99. 99. I was going to say, early 2000. The Suzuki GSXR 1300R Hayabusa is a sports motorcycle made by Suzuki since 1999. It immediately won acclaim as the world's fastest production motorcycle with a top speed of 303 to 312 kilometers per hour, 188 to 194 miles per hour. In 99, fears of the European regulatory backlash and import ban led to an agreement governing the top speed of the motorcycles, the limit starting in late 2000. 186 miles an hour. So 99. I thought it was later than that. I thought it was like early 2000, but 99. Nice. Texas Confederate said, I just finished a 1,000-gallon propane tank and turned it into a barbecue smoker. He said, it looks like an old steam engine train. Nice. Never Cavaricci's. Cross colors, I did have some cross color stuff. Are those Bugle Boys you're wearing? Not Jordashes, yes. So Don, nope, never wore Bugle Boys. Just didn't do it. I think you got your jean references mixed up. That was Bugle Boy commercials you referenced, yes. Never had Jinko jeans or JNCO. Spencer says, man, I'm old. So for me, it was like Levi's. I think Levi's were the jeans that I used to wear, and then whatever, I won't say off-brand, but it was mainly, yeah. Hojo says, how did you wash those parachute pants? Weren't they made with vinyl and lots of zippers? No, they were like, they were regular cloth, like, because they were dress pants, the ones that I had. Zach said, I'm sad no one got my Chris Benoit joke. Should I look up Chris Benoit angry? ANGRY SBENOIT Benoit. Oh, is Chris Benoit the one that he fell from like the tower or something? No. Enjoy the world. No. God. Oh, he hung himself. Oof. Interesting. All right. I think maybe one of the Michaels brothers fell. Russ said in '89 I was 21. Zach said I was born in '86. Y'all old. Jimmy said I had the first one in town shoot in the '90s. I was still trying to get that boom shakalaka. Oh my God. Quentin says I was born in '86. We're old too. Hell yeah. Don says '90s would have been the Honda CBR Blackbird, and then the booster killed it. Um, yes. So between the VFR and the Blackbird, um, yeah, like I've really got into motorcycles after the booster came out. Um, Hojo said I got the Benoit dope dude snapped and off this family. Ah, okay. See, I just learned that. Uh, Zach said, "LOL, shut up, Quentin." Yeah, y'all are old too. Josh says he's back again. The beanie is off. How's the drink? It was good. It was good. Go-go boots, hot pants, bra burning, and He's Grumpus says go-go boots, hot pants, bra burning. Memories. Marlon says no. Hojo said I always thought parachute pants were leather. No, Levi Silver Tab, those were fire. Sure. I took off a few dollars of the. Oh, I took a few dollars off the local muscle cars with that bike. Hell yeah, you did. Um, Zach says Owen Hart fell to his death. Oh, okay. Dark humor didn't click. I'll keep those jokes anyway. Yeah. Is Jimmy Superfly Snooker still with us? I remembered him being accused of some serious stuff a few years ago. Quinn says he was convicted of that serious stuff. Russ said, Hojo, you had some parachute pants for sure. I'm telling you, I know, and I mean, there might actually, I'm going to say there might actually, but there might even be pictures of me in said hammer pants. But I know they were dress pants. And like my brother and I, my younger brother and I had a pair of these pants together, and like his pair was like black and my pair was like brown, or mine was brown and his was black, but we had two different colors. And I remember wearing them for church, like to church. Marlon said New Jack Swing was that the '90s or the 2000s? That was the '90s. Funny enough, that movie, New Jack City, there was one of the child actors in that movie. I went to elementary school with him, and he actually became a acting coach, an actor and acting coach. And he had 2 or 3 successful coaching agencies. One in LA, and it was either one in Philly and or Atlanta, or one in LA and one in Atlanta. But he coached Jaden Smith on Karate Kid. He unfortunately passed away right before the pandemic, or as the pandemic was starting. He passed away. His name was Dustin Felder. Definitely, one of those people I'll always remember. Like I said, I went to elementary school with him, and it was crazy because it's like we were in 7th or 8th grade, and Dustin went away for like 2 weeks, and then he came back, and we were like, "Dude, where you been?" He's like, "I was filming a movie." It's like, "A movie? Whatever, you're lying." And then when we watched New Jack City, oh, there's Dustin. He wasn't lying. Hojo said was in high school in the mid '80s. Hell yeah, I had a pair of those parachute pants and some Gap Band boots. Yeah. Brisket Medic says my guilty pleasure watching Dark Side of the Ring at 2 a.m. in between 911 calls. Don says, yeah, but did you ever cuff and roll the pants on your jeans with some loafers? No, I never did that. I do remember having loafers. I'll say back in the day, but yeah, I do remember having loafers back in the day. But that was because I went to Catholic school. I went to Catholic school for first grade only, and I hated wearing those loafers. So I wore them for exactly 1 year, but never did I wear loafers and jeans. Like, it's not my thing. Hojo says, anyone watch any bare knuckle boxing? Was flipping channels the other night and came across it. These guys and gals are crazy. Zach says, I watch mud wrestling. Does that count? No, Zach. No. No, it does. Anyway, we have hit and gone past that 2 hour mark, that magic 2 hour mark. I'm going to go ahead and end it here soon. I really want to give a shout out to anyone and everyone who watches the replays. I mean, just every now and again, we can get together and we could just talk and BS. I was waiting for that. And I'm not even going to read it, Zach. I'm not even going to read it. There's some, Kentucky wrestling. No. I was just waiting for it. I was thinking about the movie Old School, and I was just waiting for that. You know what, Zach, your under 40 underdeveloped brain is showing. Yep. Born in 1986. Marla says, good night, everyone. Yes. Hojo says, thanks again for the Wednesday diversion. Sure thing, man. It is as much of a diversion for me as it is for you guys. I really just enjoy hanging out. Really, this is like therapy. That's why I called it what it was. So, let's just call this like live YouTube therapy with barbecue sprinkled in and anything else we care to talk about within reason. Maybe that'll be the working title of next week's live stream. Brisket Medic Zach said, old school is exactly what I meant. Oh, I already knew. Zach, you my boy. Hey, Frank. Hey, Frank, what you doing? We're going streaking. Frank, who's we? Everybody. Frank, you're by yourself. Go to the quad. Make it down to Orange Mills. I'll shoot you a text and see what's up. Yes, indeed. Please do. Nobody better be going streaking. Spencer says, yeah, nope. Those, especially not in the winter. We gotta wait till the summertime. But was it Lee? It's not Lee Remini. Was that her name? She was like, Blue, Frank, it looks like it's a little cold out there. We're going streaking. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Jimmy says, night, guys. Have a great rest of the week. Later, Dash. Yes, sir. Zach says, love you guys and gals. Been a good few laughs. Have a great night, y'all. Yes. Russ says, good night, y'all. Zach says, no streaking in the winter. Yes. Grumpa says, good night, everyone. Gotta go. Still thinking about them bra burnings. And on that note, we're gonna end it there. Spencer says, peace out, y'all. Yes, indeed. I'm gonna read once again. Grumpa says, good night, everyone. Gotta go. Still thinking about them bra burnings. All right, fellas and ladies who are here, I really appreciate you. If you have not already, please hit that thumbs up on the way out. I'd greatly appreciate it. Hey, if you are watching on the replay, please comment replay gang down below. Again, thank you guys so very much. And a new comment popped up. Hojo says Dash going to watch some wrestling videos to end the night. No, I'm not. I think I might watch one episode of New Amsterdam and go to bed. And with that, I bid you adieu, and I'm gone.